Hey everybody, this is Dr. Tereslta Glasgow, and it's time for Bible, Business, and Coffee with Dr. Tereslta Glasgow. Well, this is my second attempt to do this today, and it's just 8 after 12, so I'm still in good time since I do this at 12 o'clock noon every Tuesday, Bible, Business, and Coffee with Dr. Tereslta Glasgow. I missed last Tuesday. And life happens, things are going on, and a lot of activities and different things going on. So I missed last Tuesday. So anyway, my apologies. And I am here this week. And this week I am talking about a book that I told you guys I was reading. And when I was discussing my book, actually, I mentioned the fact that I was reading a book. And it was a book that I'd heard a lot about from a lot of different people, and so I decided, hey, I'm going to read this book. I am an avid reader anyway. I love to read in any way I can get new information, whether it's an audio, a video, a book, anything, any way that I can get new information or additional information on particular subject matter, then I'm always excited about doing that. And so this little book right here, The Greatest Salesman in the World by Mandino, was one of the books that several people had brought up. You need to read this book. And so I decided I would. Let me see if I can get a little bit more light on there. There you go. And so I decided I would read this book. And, it's a funny thing. And let me ask you this. It seems to me every time I decide that I'm going to do a particular thing, everything imaginable comes up to kind of prevent me from doing certain things. And so when I got this book, I noticed how small it was. I think it's 110 pages. And because it's so small, I said, oh, you can do this in one night's reading, which hasn't happened. And so I'm going through it slowly, methodically in each chapter. And it kind of lends itself to that because it's the story is almost told in almost like a parable fashion, and it's about these scrolls. Well, let me start off. It's about a salesman, the greatest salesman in the world, and some of the people around him as he begins to get ready for his final farewell to life, and he starts giving all his things away. And and it's about these scrolls, and the person that initially gave him the scrolls told him that he would find someone at the end of his life to pass the scrolls on to. And so the book kind of walks us through that scenario of him actually finding the person that he's going to pass the scrolls on to, and then what that person actually goes through as they begin to read the various scrolls. And so it's an interesting little book. I like the way that it's told because it's told in a storytelling kind of fashion, like almost like a parable type fashion. You get to know the people's names and different locations that they're going through, the caravans and the sales. And it's also talked about, it's almost biblical in the way that it's the location anyway. It seems to be in the Middle East, so that's enough about that. So it's a good book, and the scrolls and the information they give actually would be good for any business person or any person because it gives out some practical wisdom. So I'm going to share some of that with you today. I'm going to share just a little bit. I mean, you still really need to read the book, and I have included the link for the book in the probably show notes or whatever you want to call it. On my business page, I did include a link for the book if you're interested. I really wanted interaction on today's show, and in every show I want interaction. But because this Facebook Live takes place at lunchtime, I don't seem to get much interaction, and I'm not really sure if that is why. It may be something technical because I don't even have icons for sharing or letting people know that I'm on. Anyone in the feed probably knows that I'm on. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this little book. This little book, Greatest Salesman in the World. I'm just here in it. You see my bookmarker, and I've highlighted a bunch of things. Whenever I read, I tend to highlight. I tend to underline. I'm not afraid to mark up my books. I mark up my books a lot. Some people don't do that. I do. So scroll 1 says, today I began a new life. And what is going on with the young man who the scrolls were given to is that he has a goal to be a wonderful salesman, or greatest salesman in the world, actually. And because he has that goal in mind, he's kind of under the tutelage of the other greatest salesman in the world, and he passes on these scrolls. And within these various scrolls is wisdom, context of wisdom. And this is Bible, Business, and Coffee. So today I think we could probably put this more under business, but certainly it would lend itself to biblical text, probably would confirm some of what he's saying. So on scroll 1, it starts off with, today I begin a new life. I will read each scroll for 30 days in this prescribed manner before I proceed to the next scroll. 30 days on each scroll. Read the words in silence and wake up then after lunch and again before I go to bed. So he's going to read the scrolls. He actually is going to meditate in that scroll for 30 days. He's going to read it when he wakes up. He's going to read it after lunch and before he goes to bed. I think he's going to read it silently first, and then he's going to read it out loud. Okay. And as you repeat the words, they become part of your active mind and seep into your other mind, the mind that often makes you act in ways you don't understand. So it's going to, because of the way that he's doing it, 30 days he's in this one scroll. He is going to read it to himself when he wakes up, at lunchtime, when he goes to bed. He's going to read it silently at first, and then he's going to read it out loud to himself. So, of course, it's going to go into his mind, his conscious mind, as well as his subconscious mind. It's going to literally become a part of him. So, scroll number 2, it says, I will greet this day with love in my heart. I will look on all things, and you'll notice as you read the book that those topics or sentences that start off the paragraph are really the main thing that is found in that particular scroll. So it says, I will greet this day with love in my heart. I will look on all things with love, and I will be born again. Isn't that interesting? I will laud mine enemies, and they will become friends. I will encourage my friends, and they will become brothers. Always will I dig for reasons to applaud. Never will I scratch for excuses to gossip. How will I react to the actions of others? With love. Always with love. Most of all, I will love myself. And that's a theme in this scroll. To love others, but also to love yourself. For when I do, I will zealously inspect all things which enter my body, my mind, my soul, and my heart. Never will I overindulge the request of my flesh. Rather, I will cherish my body with cleanliness and moderation. Never will I allow my mind to be attracted to evil and despair. Rather, I will uplift it with knowledge of wisdom of the ages. Never will I allow my soul to become complacent and satisfied. Rather, I will feed it with meditation and prayer. Never will I allow my heart to become small and bitter. Rather, I will share it, and it will grow and warm the earth. And that's scroll 2. And I told you, these sentiments probably can also be found in the Bible as well. Of course, I'm not giving scripture references today because I'm going over this little book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, just highlighting the scrolls. But I would say I also put the link in the feed so you can purchase a copy of the book for yourself. Scroll 3. I will persist until I succeed. I was not delivered into the world in defeat. I was not delivered into the world in defeat. Nor does failure course in my veins. The prizes of life are at the end of each journey, not near the beginning. Always I will take another step. If that is of no avail, I'll take another and yet another. In truth, one step at a time is not too difficult. I will consider each day's efforts as but one blow of the blade against the mighty oak. I will consider each day's efforts as but one blow of a blade against the mighty oak. I will never consider defeat. I will remove from my vocabulary such words and phrases as quit, cannot, unable, impossible, out of the question, improbably, failure, unworkable, hopeless, and retreat, for they are the words of fools. Scroll 4. I am nature's greatest miracle. Since the beginning of time, never has there been another with my mind, my heart, my eyes, my ears, my hands, my mouth, none that came before, none that live today, and none that come tomorrow, can walk and talk and move and think exactly like me. Vain attempts to imitate others no longer will I make. I am rare, and there is value in all rarity. I am not on the earth by chance. I am here for a purpose, and that purpose is to grow into a mountain, not to shrink to a grain of sand. Henceforth, I will apply all my efforts to become the highest mountain of all, and I will strain my potential until it cries for mercy. Scroll 5. I will live this day as if it was my last. I will waste not a moment mourning yesterday's misfortunes, yesterday's defeats, yesterday's aches of the heart, for why should I throw good after bad? Can I call back yesterday's wounds and make them whole? Can I take the evil that was spoken, pain that was caused? No. Yesterday is buried forever, and I will think of it no more. Forgetting yesterday, will I think of tomorrow? Why should I throw now after maybe? Can tomorrow's sand flow through the glass for before today's? Will the sun rise twice this morning? Can I perform tomorrow's deeds while standing in today's path? Should I torment myself with problems that may never come to pass? No, tomorrow lies buried with yesterday, and I will think of it no more. This day is all I have, and these hours are now my eternity. Wow. Today's hours are but a bonus undeserved. Why have I allowed to live this extra day while others far better than I have departed? If I waste today, I destroy the last page of my life. Each minute of this day will I grasp with both hands and fondle with love of its value is beyond price. I will avoid with fury the killers of time. Procrastination I will destroy with action. Doubt I will bury under faith. Fear I will dismember with confidence. This day I will make the best day of my life. This day will I drink every minute of its full. And then scroll 6 says, today I will master my emotions. And I'm going to leave it off at that. I'm going to leave it there. I've talked for a while. I've not had any interaction. And really, what's the point of Facebook Live is to have interaction with your audience. I said on one of my other Facebook Lives that if there's no interaction, I might as well be doing a regular video. And so I am still looking into why I don't have the controls that I see when I interact with others on their Facebook Live, and also considering the time of day that I'm actually having the Facebook Live. I may do something else a little later in the day, not Bible Business and Coffee, but just an impromptu Facebook Live, just to see if I get the screens that I'm used to seeing. And anyway, I've had a great time sharing with you, because I will repost this even though there's no interaction. The Greatest Salesman in the World. The link is in the feed, and you can purchase your own copy. As you've seen, as I've read through some of the content of this book, even though it talks about salesmen, these values can be worthwhile and worthy of anyone's life, and are useful and valuable in any type of business, in any type of ministry. And it's been my honor, my pleasure to share them with you here today on Bible, Business, and Coffee with Dr. Tereslta Glasgow. See you again next time. Bye-bye.